you are a math teacher and you got a master's in math, yes. Otherwise, no. Longevity, no, it's voted into your pay, and you're better off with it not being a separate check on longevity. Career status is gone, and it will be. And you asked one other question.
Can you justify why you took it away?
We had no proof that a master's degree made you a better teacher. We had no proof. Now, I can argue with you all day long that it helped me in many places, and it helped you probably, and many others in here. But that was the decision. I am one out of 50 senators. I often go against the grain. But I can't necessarily justify it and just say we look for proof. What we do think that the other program that you have, that you go through the steps to get increased pay, we do think that has a lot of bearing on you, and we'll keep that. National Board Certificates.
And I do understand when you're saying the master's, a teacher who's teaching mathematics, but I recently received my master's degree in literacy, and I teach reading every day. And so I feel that that's something that I furthered my education. I actually paid for my own education at High Point University, and along with Asheboro City Schools, helped me with that. And I think that it has made me a better teacher. What proof do you have that the professional development that you're putting money into is making me a better teacher?
The best professional development you can get is what you do in Asheboro City and in Randolph County. And when we do something statewide and mandated, it's not worth very much. I'm all for good staff development. You ought to have it. In fact, you can have a group of teachers do it for the rest of the school sometimes and come out with one of the best you've ever had. I did that in middle school when I was principal many times. And those teachers would listen more to their peers doing that than they would to anybody outside of bringing in those cases.
My name's John York, and I'm going to take it a little bit a twist here real quick. I'm glad I got to fit this question in because it's truly what I came here for tonight. I really just came here to educate myself and listen what all you guys had to say, and it's been wonderful. I'm a 2015 Rural Economic Development Institute graduate this year. At our celebration end of year, we have it once a year. When we had it this year, there was 3 presentations. One of them was on education. We don't have to go to Canada. Technology and techniques change drastically faster than it ever has. Prime example, and I probably can't cross all the T's and dot the I's, but I wanted to leave every one of you with this thought. Morrisville, other side of Charlotte, one of the worst, I think it was the worst graduating class in the state. They took a look at it. In 4 years, they turned it around. They turned it around to be 2 years ago, #1 in the state graduating. #2 last year. They did this by scrapping what they've been doing for decades. They put technology in the hands of the students, and we now have countries from all over the world on a waiting list to come here to see how the hell they did it. So if they can do it, it's not rocket science. It's right here at us, and often what's right here at us, we don't entertain. So I say, let's do it. At the end of the day, it's all about the kids. The kids are the future, and that's truly what it's all about.
We have time for one more, and okay.
Oh, I'm also a guardian today, 18-year-old girl who goes to the middle college in Alamance County. So I'm actually not in Randolph County. The technology thing is a great point. However, when I go pick up Simone, Hila is her name. When I go pick up Simone from school, I bring her home, which the plan was I was to bring her home. But what happens is laptops or iPads or something that they can do their homework on, because it's cheaper to just give them the laptop or the iPad to allow them to do homework instead of giving them a bunch of books. Now, the reason why I bring all of her friends home is because all of her friends live in a poverty area. They don't have Wi-Fi. So there is no point for saying, hey, we're giving them all this technology, we allow them to come home so they can do their homework, and then they go back to school, and then they don't do their homework because they don't have the means at home to do their homework. Now, there are public areas in the city and in the county where they can get free Wi-Fi. Problem is, they're so far away from where they're at. And then there's no proof. And I have a bunch of technology. I'm 27 years old. I have a bunch of technology, but there's no proof that technology actually is the reason why people do better or do worse. Particularly people that don't have the technology, the Wi-Fi, they actually get a piece of homework. So they're learning on a different level, which I can help them with their homework, or my fiance can help them with their homework. But if they don't have the technology, they're learning on a different skill level. So that's kind of an iffy point.
Really quick.
I'd like to commend all of you. I came over from Raleigh to hear this discussion and appreciate the civility and the conversation. And I'd like to echo your comment. At the end of the day, it's about kids. We can have a civil discussion about whether charters or privates or homeschool or traditional publics are the best educational setting. I commend the 3 legislators that I work with. They work hard on these issues, and I'd like to just echo one thing Senator Tillman said. It takes 61 votes in the House and 26 votes in the Senate to get something passed. I've had a disagreement with every one of these individuals, but we've had civil discussions.
Still sitting on my bill.
I know. So, I would encourage you, as we discuss charters, the Opportunity Scholarship Program, and the Special Needs Scholarship, they're not anti-public education issues. They're pro-kid issues. And if you take the 150,000 homeschool students and you take the 150,000 private school students out of the $21 billion state budget, this is not new school buildings. We'd have to build buildings for 300,000 more kids out of local funds. But we would have to find $2.5 billion additional dollars to provide education for that. One thing I'd like to remember also is the parents of those homeschool students and private school students are taxpayers also. And when I hear from them, they say, hey, my kid doesn't go to a public school, and I'm paying taxes to educate other kids. The last thing I'd like to say is, Yvonne, you and I have worked on a lot of education issues over the years. My wife's a public school principal. I'm a public school advocate. We've got to look at some of the facts in some of those slides. It doesn't add to the discussion to have misinformation. To say that there's no money for a digital learning plan is absolutely false. And in this last budget, we put $10 million in the budget to leverage $30,000 that we got from the federal government for digital learning. We have a statement in there that says 31% of the public supports opportunity scholarships. The national research shows whether you're a Democrat, Republican, rich or poor, in all the subgroups, overwhelming support for choice. The last thing I'll say, a statement in there that there's no evidence of competition working. Friedman Foundation reviewed 22 out of 23 studies that looked at public school choice. In 22 of those studies, both the public schools, the private schools, and homeschools, charter schools did better. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's not about the system. We have more work to do. I don't think anybody will deny that. We haven't found all the answers. And on choice, in this A through F, you guys are fortunate in Randolph County. In North Carolina, it's not that way in every community. And the question I'd leave you with is how many of you would send your kids or grandkids to a school that had a 1 in 5 chance of succeeding? And so let's take the labels off and let's focus on high quality seats regardless of whether it's traditional public or charter or homeschool or private school. But again, commend you for your program tonight, and I hope the discussion continues.
I'm sorry.